Look, let me guess how this started. You finally got your bank balance above 5 figures. Maybe it's $18,000, $19,400, $20,200, and instead of feeling rich, confident, or ahead, you feel more anxious than ever. You check your bank app more often. You hesitate before spending money you used to spend without thinking. And weirdly, you don't feel much safer than when you had $5,000. If that sounds familiar, yeah, that's not a coincidence. Because $20,000 is the point where money stops being simple and everything changes. Psychologically and mathematically, more than most people realize. My name is Jake, and I spend way too much time thinking about why everything changes even more after $20,000. If you're someone who is saving money but still feels stuck, anxious, or unsure whether you're actually doing well, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Now, here's the thing. Most personal finance advice treats money like it's linear. Like if $1,000 helped you a little, then $20,000 should help you 20 times more. That's not how it works. And this is where people quietly mess up their entire financial future. Here's what most people don't realize. Money changes behavior before it changes lifestyle. When you had $500 or $1,000 saved, money was reactive. It existed to fix problems. Car breaks down, money disappears. Unexpected bill, money disappears. Emergency, money disappears. But once you cross $20,000, money stops being reactive and starts becoming strategic. And strategy is uncomfortable because now every decision has an opportunity cost. Spend $2,000 on a vacation? That's not just a vacation anymore. That's 4 months of investing, a full emergency buffer, or $15,000 to $20,000 in missed long-term growth. And suddenly, every purchase feels heavier. Look, this is where psychology wrecks people. According to behavioral economics research popularized by Daniel Kahneman, humans feel losses about 2 times more intensely than gains. At $1,000 saved, losing $200 is annoying. At $20,000 saved, losing $2,000 feels painful. Not because it ruins you, but because now you've tasted progress. And here's the scary part. Most people don't protect money rationally. They protect it emotionally. So instead of optimizing growth, they freeze. They leave $20,000 sitting in a checking account earning basically nothing because doing nothing feels safer than making a mistake. This is the first silent wealth killer. Now, let's talk numbers because this is where things get really interesting. At small balances, returns don't feel real. If you earn 7% on $1,000, that's $70 a year. Cool, but who cares? But at $20,000, 7% is $1,400 per year. And that's not theoretical. That's roughly the historical long-term average return of the S&P 500 after inflation, based on data from Vanguard and Morningstar. Now fast forward. If you leave $20,000 invested for 20 years at 7%, it becomes approximately $77,000. And if you keep adding just $500 per month, you're looking at $300,000 plus. This is the point where time starts doing the heavy lifting instead of effort, but only if you don't sabotage it. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Jake, so I should just invest it and chill, right? Not exactly. Because $20,000 triggers a dangerous identity shift. People stop seeing themselves as someone getting better with money and start seeing themselves as someone who should know what they're doing. That's when they overtrade, they chase trends, they panic during market drops, or they listen to confident idiots online. Historically, the average investor underperforms the market by 2 to 3% per year, according to Dalbar studies. That doesn't sound like much until you realize that 2% over 30 years can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Here's a simple framework most people never get taught. If you have approximately $20,000, it should generally be split into 3 jobs. 1. Stability. Sleep well money. 3 to 6 months of expenses and high-yield savings. This money's job is not growth. Its job is to keep you from panicking. 2. Momentum, long-term growth, low-cost index funds, boring, predictable, powerful. No guessing, no timing, no drama. 3. Optionality, future leverage. This is where opportunity lives. Career upgrades, skills, small experiments, relocation, business ideas. Most people skip this category entirely and then wonder why they feel stuck. Here's the brutal truth. $20,000 is enough money to amplify who you already are. If you're disciplined, it compounds. If you're emotional, it disappears slowly. If you're inconsistent, it stagnates. This isn't about intelligence. It's about behavior under uncertainty. And that's why two people with the same income and the same savings end up in completely different financial places. If you're around $20,000 right now, do these 3 things. 1. Separate the money by purpose. Different accounts, different jobs. 2. Automate growth. Remove daily decision-making. Willpower is unreliable. 3. Stop optimizing tiny expenses. Your biggest gains now come from consistency and time, not skipping coffee. Look, you're not behind. If anything, crossing $20,000 means you've reached the point where money can finally start working with you instead of against you, but only if you respect the shift. This is the stage where patience beats hustle, where boring beats brilliant, and where self-control beats intelligence. If this video helped you see money differently, hit subscribe, because this channel is about building wealth the boring, realistic way that actually works. I'm Jake, and I'll see you in the next one.